Very, very good evening, all of you. I'm sorry for the delay of starting with the session, some technical glitch. But how are you all? Good evening, all of you. Hello, Arohi. Hello, Kunal. How are you all doing? It started to get cold now, thoda sa, so you have to take care of yourselves a little more. I'm assuming that you had your first board exam today. A lot of you guys, right? Hi, Ayushi. And I'm pretty sure that it may have gone really well because it was English, if I'm not wrong. The English का board exam तो वैसे भी अच्छा ही जाना चाहिए यार. English in general अच्छा जाना चाहिए, especially when it comes to schools. It's good, not a problem at all. Hi Nandini, hello Manan, hello Anjali, Niyati, hi. Niyati, you will have to use your earphones, beta. Yes, Manan, of course I do, of course. Sports speak, yes, I remember. Super weird. Why weird? Not a nice day. क्यों? It was difficult. क्या बात कर रहे हो? Okay, that is not very encouraging. So wasn't really good. So what went wrong? Was the question? It was confusing. Oh, okay. That is odd because English shouldn't be. But I'm hoping, and if they have made it difficult for you this time around, I'm hoping that their marking scheme will be accordingly. Don't worry about that. Your marking scheme should be accordingly. MCQ pattern is a little bit of a problem, yes. I mean, it's sad enough that you have to take MCQ questions here in your undergraduate entrances, but this is a confusion between two. Always MCQs are always like that, and I think it's because they're making it a little difficult deliberately because they are kind of skeptical the whole idea of whether you've been studying or not, which is not your fault at the end of the day. So why should you be suffering, right? Uh, आपसे बीए पढ़ के एसएससी बेस हो गया मैं oh, congratulations Manan. Good, very happy for that. Yes, wonderful, wonderful, so happy to hear this. Manan, sports speak was a very prominent person to be around during classes and of course also during your live sessions, so very confusing. Yeah, I can totally understand that, and I think they've made it purposefully. उन्होंने थोड़ा सा difficult बनाया है, hoping that then the marks that they give you should also be justifying what they have done in terms of your question paper. But then you have, when is your next exam, all of you? Third first exam tha. Did not go as well as you had planned, but when's your next exam? Monday. Yes. No, so other subjects, that's what I was going to kind of come to. So if it's English was such a difficult thing, I'm a little worried about the rest of them as well. But again, I think English is a little subjective in that sense. Maths and ये सब थोड़े से objective होते हैं, तो hopefully that shouldn't be a problem. Fake answer की तो oh my god, not scoring more than 34. Okay, all right. मैंने आपको टेली पे टेक्स्ट किया था. अच्छा, बहुत सारे there so many of them. I think that's one of the reasons why I couldn't. But congratulations, so cool. Okay, but वो fake answer की को छोड़ देना. Okay, because we never know what's right, what's wrong. वो चीजें बहुत सारी होती रहती हैं. But yeah, be aware of the next coming exams, but don't stress on it. You really can't do much now. You have another set of board exams to help you redeem yourselves whenever that is. But abhi at the moment, don't stress yourself. Let's get into the session, right? I am hoping that this little small session will be able to help you come out of whatever has happened today with you guys. We're going to be doing three things today. Idioms karenge, pronunciation thoda sa, I was thinking I'll pick up pronunciations a little bit, and words, right? So five words. Let's first do the first word that we're supposed to do. On your screens is the first word, which is sinecure. Sinecure is the first one. Now I want you to think of that one job, all right, Joe, where you sign, you just have to sign and then you get a crore. That's sinecure. That job is called sinecure, where you don't have to, do a lot of work, but you get paid really well. that is sinecure. So इसको याद करने के लिए you might think of this word as sign, as in the first half is sign, and then the second half can be crore. So you just have the sign and you get a crore. That job is called sinecure. वैसे ऐसी jobs exist ज़्यादा नहीं करती, but earlier times में when you had government jobs that used to pay really well, but you did not really have to do much, that kind of jobs were called sinecure. अब थोड़ा सा situation has changed. Unfortunately, we have to work really hard to even get a lakh. Crore तो बहुत दूर की बात है, right? So but then sign and get a crore. So then that means sinecure is that one job or post where you have little to no work, but you get paid really well. Okay, that's sinecure. So for example, अगर आपको याद हो वो जो धूम आई थी, have you guys seen धूम, that movie? There is this there was this one person. I'm forgetting the name. The Chopra, Aditya Chopra. No, that's not Aditya Chopra. Uday Chopra. Now that person did not really do anything in the movie at all. No value addition in the movie by that person. But he obviously got a crore because it was his father or brother making the movie. Right? That is sign okay. You really didn't have to do much, but बहुत सारा कमा लिया. That is sinecure. So after his retirement, he got a sinecure as a tribute to his service. Yes, a lot of people get that. A lot of people, after giving a lot of time and a lot of years to a certain company, get a job as an honorary job where you get paid, but you don't really have to work as much. क्योंकि वो management के लिए you have to show that kind of position. It's a noun because it's a post we're talking about, right? It's a thing, it's a post, which is why sinecure is a noun. That was the first word. Let's go to the second word. Sinecure के लिए आप sign and crore याद रखो and you'll be able to get what the meaning of it is very easily. Let's go to the second word. Second word के लिए I am showing you this video. The word is discordant. Okay, discordant के लिए I want you to think of how this word is related. Tell me how this woman is singing. Okay, you really need to comment on how the woman is singing, which is what discordant would mean. So first let's listen to this and then we'll discuss. Also, if you have a higher volume पे अगर चल रहा हो अभी at the moment, lower कर लेना because this woman is really going to RIP your ears. So here you go. Listen to this video and then we'll discuss.
I'm gonna show you who can sing. Just call me angel of the morning, angel. Touch my cheeks before you leave me, baby. Touch me. Hush, little baby, don't say the word. Papa's going to bird you a mockingbird, and if the mockingbird won't sing, Papa's gonna buy you a diamond ring. And if the Billy got one push, Papa's gonna kill the Billy goat. Are you silly?
Okay, yeah. How is she singing? What word comes? So Sofia Vergara is literally the one person who can crack me up anytime. Like she's really funny without even trying. That's the whole point. Cacophony, right? It's cacophonious. It's not very pleasant. It's not a good sound, right? Grating sound, yes. Harsh, absolutely correct. So discordant has actually two meanings. All right,
I'm gonna show you who can.
one of them is when something is unharmonious or not very melodious. So in that sense, you're saying harsh sounds, right? You are telling me cacophony. So cacophonious. All right. Grating sound. Now the whole point here is when you're talking about sound, this is what it means. If it is about discordant, let's say discordant relationship between you and me, then in that sense, it means a relationship which is generally of some sort of disagreement. Okay, when you are not very friendly with me, all right, so a little unfriendly, a little hostile maybe. ठीक है, थोड़ा सा hostility है, maybe enmity है, maybe cold war sort of a situation चल रहा है. So that is discordant. So if I have a discordant relationship with, let's say, my uncle, that means I am in general disagreement with my uncle. I am unfriendly with him, or I am hostile towards him. There's some sort of aversion. Yes, Janisha, very good. So those are the two meanings to the word discordant. One can be in terms of the sound that we just heard a while back. So that is discordant. Also, it can be general disagreement, and unfriendliness is also discordant. So you can remember this as dis, which is a negative root word, right? Organized को अगर हम dis लगा दे तो becomes a negative root word, disorganized हो जाता है. So on and so forth. Belief को अगर हमने इस पे dis लगा दिया तो वो disbelief हो जाता है, again a negative word. So this is a negative root word. Chord, you can think of chord as musical chords, right? And chords generally when they hit right are nice, beautiful sounds. But if it's a wrong chord, it produces harsh sounds. So you can think of this as a wrong chord being played, which is why it becomes inharmonious or harsh or cacophonious or grating, right? So that is how you can remember this. Discordant means either when there's unharmony uh, or disharmony between the two people, three people, whatever, or it can be unmelodious in terms of sound. So they continued with discordant singing. The singing that we could describe Sofia Vergara, where she was singing, was a discordant singing or a discordant relationship, as we spoke of earlier about how when people don't agree with each other. So that is it's an adjective, because if you remember, we discussed how ant can mean and it's an adjective, right? Also, we talked about how ious, yeah, ous in general speaks of some sort of adjective. All of those things are how discordant becomes an adjective. Now let's go to the third word. Third word पे चलते हैं. Let's see what the video is this time around. The word is tawdry. Now for the word tawdry, I want you to look at this video. Also avoid the sound. It's a little irritating, but video में देखो. I want you to describe the clothing of this one person who appears in the video. ठीक है, तो आप मुझे clothing describe karo of this one person who appears in the video, and then we'll talk about tawdry relating with the clothing that this person has. Let's look at this.
मचाएंगे 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 आगे आगे
तू नंगा ही तो आया है ना
अरे रेड कारपेट इधर है ओरिजिनल थोड़ा आगे
ये आगे ले ले गली बॉय
मचाएंगे
बाबा मार्केट इधर है ऐका
बाबा
बाबा इधर बाबा जंगली शेर बड़ी जंगली शेर
Okay, yeah, avoiding the commentary that was being done in the background. How would you describe this person's not just in this video, I mean in general also, that's how he dresses, right? कभी foil पहन कर आ जाएगा, कभी पता नहीं किसी की skirt चुरा लेगा. So very outward, okay, ostentatious, gaudy, yes, very good. So that is what tawdry really means, okay? Tawdry is over the top, gaudy, very almost cheap. And when I say cheap, I mean in terms of cheap, in terms of quality of the way that it looks. All right. Faux pas is a different this thing. Faux pas is a blunder. It's a social blunder that you have done. So faux means fake. So maybe that's how you're relating it. But so then tawdry को आप कैसे याद रख सकते हो? You can remember it through dowry, which is dowry is supposed to be cheap now, right? Also, if you know how whenever somebody gives dowry, वो ऐसे सजा के रख देते हैं, ऐसे gaudy उसमें flashy तरीके से, they kind of exhibit the whole whatever they are giving away, right? So that's tawdry, that's flashy, gaudy, cheap. Another word is garish. Garish also means ऐसे चटकीला, I don't know, yeah, tadak bhadak sort of a situation. That's tawdry, that's gaudy. Another very interesting word is called kitschy. Kitschy also means again the same thing, very flashy, very gaudy, tasteless almost, where there is absolutely no taste in whatever you do, right? That's what tawdry means. So she received tawdry jewelry as a gift. मतलब अजीब सी, cheap सी, garish सी, kitschy सी jewelry. It's not a verb actually, it's an adjective, right? You're describing how the jewelry is, you're describing how his clothing is. So you're using words like cheap and garish and flashy and tawdry. All of these are adjectives. This was our third word. Let's head to, can we use coming out of bandbox for this, or is it having, that can actually be correct, the correct idiom for this. Coming out of a bandbox is basically this: when you're overly dressing yourself to an extent where you're not looking very presentable, or you're looking a little too much, right? So this is absolutely correct, you can use it. Let's go to the fourth this thing video. I am pretty sure you know what's coming now. The word is Karmajian. All right. Yes, there'll be menti quiz today. Karmajian is the word I want you to describe this uncle to me. Okay. ये uncle को अगर you describe करना होता तो कैसे करते? Like what adjectives would you have used? Let's look at this and then we will discuss.
बाजी मुझे मेरे राज के पास जाने दीजिए बाजी बाजी प्लीज बाजी मुझे मेरे राज के पास जाने दीजिए बाजी प्लीज आई बेग ऑफ यू प्लीज बाजी मुझे मेरे राज के
This guy in the whole movie, उसकी शक्ल ऐसी ही थी. Throughout the movie, that's his face, right? Especially that expression of gussa and loathing and all of those things. How would you describe this guy? Very stern, iconic. You know what, Niyati? I haven't seen the movie yet. I have not seen entire movie. मैं कभी भी ऐसे नहीं देख पाई कि in one go I was sitting and watching the whole of the movie. मैंने हमेशा ऐसे bits and bits में देखी है. तो मुझे exactly I don't even remember exactly कौन सा scene comes after what and all of those things. So sophisticated the antonym for tawdry? Yes, absolutely correct. Cranky हो सकता है, strict हो सकता है, ill-tempered, yes, very good. So curmudgeon is a person who is ill-tempered, very cranky, irritable, annoyed very easily. Okay, yeah, I haven't watched. I know it. I haven't watched कुछ कुछ होता है either. And ऐसे जो भी ऐसे iconic movies है ना, I haven't really watched many. I know you'll kill me if I say I haven't watched Lagan either, but that's also true. I haven't watched Lagan. I don't know, for some odd reason. And K3G, I just happened to watch like in the previous lockdown. The first lockdown I watched K3G. तो कर्मजियन के लिए ना आप कैसे याद रख सकते हो जैसे अगर इफ यू हैव सीन एनी सीरियल स्पेशली सीरियल जिसमें ऐसे सास अपनी बहुओं को नहीं बोलते करम जली कल मुही दैट काइंड ऑफ थिंग ऑलराइट वो इतने स्माइल करके नहीं बोलते हैं वो काफी गुस्से में बोलते हैं बट आई कांट हेल्प बट लाफ बट दैट इज व्हाट those people can be karmajan, right? You see that these words like karamjali and kalmuhi and kalankini and all of those words are generally used by older women, right? So then karamjali se yaad rakho karmajan ko ki aise older people say such things and generally people who are bad tempered or very very crude, very irascible people, irritable people, easily annoyed, ill tempered, cranky. All right, another word that you can remember, I think I may have told you this sometime earlier, churlish. All right, all of these words tell us that curmudgeon really means a person who's ill tempered and bad. Epic MA, yes. Seriously, कुछ कुछ होता है. You haven't watched? No, I haven't. I too haven't watched any of these. See, I'm not the only person. What have you watched? I have not watched many ऐसे कल्ट मूवीज. आई डोंट नो व्हाट आई यूज्ड टू वॉच एट दैट टाइम. मैं शायद पोगो और इन सब में ज्यादा बिजी रहती थी कि मैंने मूवीज नहीं देखी है. आई डोंट नो बट या मैंने इनफैक्ट हैरी पॉटर भी लॉकडाउन के टाइम देखी है. आई हैड नॉट वॉच्ड हैरी पॉटर का एक सिंगल मूवी भी बट आई हैपन टू लाइक दैट. आई लाइक्ड हैरी पॉटर नो डाउट. So despite everyone treating him well, he behaved like a curmudgeon. उसको अच्छे से behave करते थे, उससे खुश खुश होकर बात करते थे, फिर भी वो ऐसे cranky, irritated सा, churlish सा, गंदा mood वाला. That's curmudgeon. Okay. Yes, I have watched मुन्ना भाई. I mean, इतना भी गया गुजरा हाल नहीं. I've watched मुन्ना भाई. So, uh, a bad-tempered or an ill-tempered person is a noun because we're saying that this is a person. I would say he's a curmudgeon. मतलब ये हम एक बंदा बोल रहे a person who is bad-tempered. That is what curmudgeon is. This was the fourth word. Let's go to the fifth word now. हेरा फेरी नहीं देखी मैंने. दोनों में से कोई भी नहीं. Neither. Not the first, not the second. I know I'm kind of weird. मैंने कुछ अजीब हरकत ही करी है यहाँ पे. I've missed quite a lot of movies in the previous times. Okay, let's go to the last word. The last word is Glover. Now for Glover, I want you to watch this video. And this is ये आपको पूरा I don't know पूरा एक अच्छा definition दे देगा of what Glover is. So let's watch this. And this woman in the video is जो woman कर रही है, that's what glovering is. So let's watch this. उसके बाद discuss करते हैं. Here you go.
And then Lily gave her dad a look that Marshall had only seen a few times before. A look we all prayed never to be on the receiving end of. Her "you're dead to me" look.
When our neighbor, Mr. Osias, was dead to you.
Hey, that's our newspaper.
To get it back in 15 minutes. Make it 20. I had a steak last night.
So that look that she's giving, you are dead to me look, that's basically glovering. Okay. For a night stay at friend's home, yes. The look that your mom gives you when you ask for a night stay. Absolutely correct. So yeah, that's glovering. All right. Glover is to glare with power. Stare at somebody with a lot of anger, with a lot of power. कि भाई मैं आज तो मैं खत्म करके रह जाऊं खत्म कर दूंगी if you continue whatever saying whatever you're saying. Death stare, like that's exactly what glovering is. So to look angrily at somebody, to look annoyingly at somebody, to glare at them, to stare at them with anger, that's glover. So glare with power is one thing that you can remember, or the video can also now help you remember what glovering really means. She glowered at me during the party. That means she stared at me with an angry look on her face or in her eyes. And that moment, or maybe going out with friends just before boards. That. I think I'll also glower at you if you do that right now, considering that your first board did not really go very well. So I'd probably do that too. But yeah, that's glovering, okay? It's a verb because it's an action that some person does because they're angry. All right, so that's what those were our 5 words. Let's quickly go to 5 words that we need to pronounce correctly. So there are 5 words that I have seen a lot of people pronouncing incorrectly. So I'm hoping that those 5 words will help you. I think that's going to be something that I'm going to be doing very often, bringing up some words that will that have been mispronounced very often in the past and that you can work on. So the first word that needs concentration or some sort of this thing in terms of pronunciation is breakfast. A lot of people pronounce the first word as break fast. Now that's not break fast. I mean, I know that it's spelled like that, but it's not supposed to be breakfast. It's going to be something like break and then fast. Eat up all the vowels here. Don't really need vowels, only schwa sounds are required. So breakfast is where you're just eating up all the vowels. You're just saying breakfast without pronouncing any of the vowels in the word. Okay, so that's breakfast. So breakfast is the first. Second, बहुत सारे लोग रेस्टोरेंट बोलते हैं. Second word को restaurant नहीं होता ये. It's restaurant. So it's like rest and then raw. T is very, very minutely pronounced, so it's almost as good as a silent T. Okay, it's almost as good as a silent T. So it's restaurant, not restaurant. So don't say it like that. So first is breakfast. Second is restaurant, not restaurant. Third, a lot of people pronounce the third word as almond, which is wrong. Almond nahi hota ye. It's almond. The L in that word is silent. So it's almond, not almond or almond. None of that. L is silent, so we're going to be pronouncing it as almond. All right. So first is breakfast. Second is restaurant. Third is almond. Fourth, सब लोग इसको generally pronounce करते हैं vegetable. A lot of people pronounce it as vegetable, but the correct pronunciation of this word is veg. So the E is silent after G, veg, and then the second is tibble. So it's vegetable, not vegetable, not vegetable, none of that. It's vegetable. Okay, so you say it fast, it'll be vegetable. It's not vegetable. It's vegetable. The fifth one, a lot of people pronounce this as sour. It's not sour. It's incorrect to pronounce it as sour. It's like sour. Sour. Okay, it's like you have to pronounce it just like a W would be. So it's sour, not sour. So I'm going to just very quickly go back and read all of these 5 words. Say it with me if you can. So the first word is breakfast. Okay, breakfast. Then the second word is restaurant. Restaurant. Third is almond. Okay. Almond. After which it's vegetable. And then the fifth word is sour. All right. Breakfast, restaurant, almond, vegetable, and sour. Wonderful. So those were the 5 often mispronounced words. Let's now get to the mentee bit of the whole thing very quickly without wasting any of your time. I'm going to show you what your mentee quiz is like for the day. This time around, I was thinking हमने idioms बहुत time से नहीं किया है, so let's just pick up idioms for a bit. All right. And hi, Ketan, how are you? Wow, it's been such a long time. I haven't seen you or heard from you, except of course Instagram. But very nice to see you. Yeah. How are you doing? Okay. Everybody join in. Your code is 50317043. Join in, all of you. 50317043. Nandini, that's the whole idea. I mean, we can only help and improve ourselves. We can't go around thinking what the other person might think, because if that's how it is, तो हमारी English, उनकी English सबकी गई गुजरी है. Right, but only thing that we can really work on is ourselves, and we should essentially be pronouncing it the way it's supposed to be. I'm perfectly fine. Thank you for asking, Ketan. Very, very happy to see you. Also, the other thing is, this doesn't have to do with accent. These words are not mispronounced because we have a different accent. It's just mispronounced because we don't know the correct pronunciation. That's all that it is. Okay, I'm going to wait for a couple of more of you to join in. Your code is 50317043. Quickly join in, everyone. I have a few people already joined in. There are about 7 questions today on idioms. So idioms mein kuch to you have to complete. Kuch mein you have to guess the meaning of. It's not very difficult. They're almost self-explanatory idioms, so it's not going to be a problem. Okay. All right, going to wait for another 1 more minute and 1 more second or 2 seconds more, and then we'll start off. Let's do the first question on your screens, everyone. Here you go. Make a clean breast, make a clean dash of means to confess something. I have given you the answer. But make a clean dash of means to confess something. Make a clean breast of something. When you're making a clean breast of something, you're coming clean. You're confessing. You're saying exactly what you had in mind. You're not mincing your words, okay? You are saying जो आपको सच लग रहा था, जो आपको ठीक लग रहा था, आपने वो बोला, right? So making a clean breast of something means to confess something, to come clean, all right? And so on and so forth. That's what making a clean breast of means. So Groot, he's grown cuter. Oh, yes, he has. No doubt about that, he has. I'm not going to deny it. He's going to get cuter by the day. Don't worry. You'll see more of him. All right, so that's making a clean breast of. Let's get to the leaderboard, because there's clearly a tie of some people here, but majority have answered it incorrectly. Yeah, he's the cutest thing. Thank you. Yes, he is. Not going to deny that at all. So you have Sakura as our first ranker today, at least in the first question. Then you have Aishmin, Pragna, Ayushi, star player, Gauri, Anjali, Akanksha, Niyati, and Suhan. Let's go to the second question. Second question on idioms on your screens, everyone. Make a dash set at means to be very determined. Make a dash set at. Make a dead set at. We say it like I'm dead sure that I'm gonna do it. वो वाला dead. okay, then I'm dead sure that this is gonna happen. That's what making a dead set at means. Making a dead set at means being very resolute, extremely determined. You are in that zone where you're not going to change your mind at all. So you're making a dead set at somebody. You're determined कि मैं उसे. So for example, you have a crush, all right, and you are like मैं उसको बोल के रहूंगा, मैं उसको पा के रहूंगा, and all of that, all those cheesy lines. So then you're making a dead set at that person, okay? Because you're like मैं उसको पा के रहूंगा, ठीक है? That's making a dead set at. This could have not been maybe unromantically a college. Okay, that should have been a better example. If you want a college and you're like, मैं उसमें जाऊंगा, for sure I'm going to go. So that'll be making a dead set at a college. All right. So let's look at the leaderboard. Leaderboard pay now. Oh, okay. So looks like Aishmeen is going to now make it to the top. Wonderful, Aishmeen. Not bad. Then you have Gauri, Anjali, Anirudh, Niyati, Pragna, Ayushi, Saplia, Nandini, and I don't know how to pronounce that word, but somebody with a J. All right. Kind of psychopathic, right? I mean, that sounded weird, but yeah. Okay, let's go to the third question. Third question on your screens, everyone. Make a hash of something means. When you make a hash of something, what does it mean? Hash is insignificant, right? So very good. Making a hash of something is when you're ruining something. Okay, to ruin something is making a hash of it. So if let's say this is a personal experience, and I'm a good cook, but I don't like cooking. So there are days when if I have to cook and I'm not very much in the zone, I might just end up making a hash of whatever I'm cooking. So for example, I was boiling eggs the other day, and I was really not in the zone, and I was like, मुझसे नहीं होगा, मैं नहीं, मुझे नहीं करना, and all of that. And somehow those eggs were not even perfectly boiled. मतलब उसमें भी मैंने एक basic egg boiling में I made a hash of it, right? So that's when I ruined those eggs. It's making a hash of something when you're ruining something. कुछ को बहुत ही ज्यादा खत्म कर रहे हो, खराब कर रहे हो. That's what it is. Leaderboard पे now we have Aishmeen has answered it correctly, and so has a lot of you actually, which means Aishmin's still going to stay on top. Then you have Anjali, Pragna, Anirudh, Gauri, Ayushi, Nandini, Stapya, Akanksha, and Niyati. And Elsa, which is Akanksha, who's Akanksha, was the fastest to answer. Let's go to the fourth question on your screens, everyone. Fourth question is make no bones. What does make no bones mean? When you say you make no bones, what does it mean? To not try to hide one's feelings, to avoid having difficult conversation, or to hurt someone. When I'm making no bones, I am not trying to hide my feelings. That means I am trying to be as open about what I feel as I can. All right. To again, very similar to making a clean breast of, right? Making no bones is when I don't want to hide any feelings whatsoever. So जो मुझे लग रहा है मैं वैसे portray कर रही हूँ is what making no bones is. All right. Leaderboard then is you have, wow, so many of you have answered that incorrectly. But because of that, Aishwin is still on top, by the way. Then you have Gauri, Akanksha, Nandini, Anjali, Pragna, Ayushi, someone with a J. I don't know how to pronounce that. And then you have Casper. Casper, who I'm assuming is wait, I know who this is. Abdul Dayan, right? That's Casper. Then let's go to the next question. Fifth question on your screens. Not worth the dash means not worth the effort. Not worth the pants, not worth the candle or watch means not worth the effort. Good. When it's generally said in terms of the game's not worth the candle. That's how we generally say it. The game's not worth the candle. When the game's not worth the candy, means it's not worth the money, the effort, the time that you've put in, the energy that you're putting in, all of that. So it's not just about efforts, it can be about time, it can be about money, energy, anything for that matter, resources, anything. So the game's not worth the candle means that the game is not worth it at all, not worth the effort at all. According to a leaderboard now, we have Ashmin still on top, and then you have Gauri, Anirudh, Yash, Akanksha, Nandini, Ayushi, AB. Okay, who's AB? Then you have Anjali and Pragnya. Next question, sixth. On your screens, the sixth question, dash branch is a symbol of ending a quarrel. A dash branch. So if you give an olive branch, very good. If you give an olive branch or you extend an olive branch towards somebody, that means you are trying to end a quarrel, trying to end a disagreement, peacemaking of sorts. So you're giving your peacemaking. So extending or giving an olive branch means you're trying to get matters to kind of become okay after a while. So um, you have that if you remember Tom and Jerry में वो जब ऐसे he used to pull out his underwear and flag it in the air. Tom used to do that a lot of times, taking off his underwear and then flagging it in the air. That's technically extending an olive branch when you're trying to end a quarrel, surrendering, peacemaking. That's what it is. Let's look at the leaderboard. You have okay, Aishmin still on top again. Wonderful. Then you have Gauri, Yash, Akansha, Nandini, Anirudh, Ayushi, Pragna, AB, and Niyat. Last question, if you can redeem yourselves. On your screens, the seventh question. Here you go. Out of harness. When somebody is out of harness, that means that that person is either without a leash or not careful or retired. Oops. Okay, when a leash is generally for dogs. Okay, leash is generally for domestic animals, in fact. So a person can't be out of leash. That doesn't make sense. It's not out of harness is not that that person is not careful. When somebody is out of harness, that means that that person has retired. Whereas if I say that I'm in the harness right now, in the harness means I'm still in my job, right? So when I'm out of harness doesn't mean that I have left my job or that I'm between jobs or I'm changing my job. None of that. I am not unemployed. I'm just retired. That is what out of harness means. Okay, so that was quite an oopsie actually. So that one person who has answered correctly is Niyati. Okay, wonderful, Niyati. Very, very good. Finally. So now that brings her on the third rank. Aishmin has won this round. Congratulations, Aishmin. You're doing me proud. Very good. Then you have Gauri, Niyati, Yash, Akansha, Nandini, Anirudh, Ayushi, Pragna, and AB. Who is AB? You got it right by mistake. Oh my god. I don't know what to say. Okay. So that's pretty much all for the day. I hope that you had fun and I hope that you liked it. I'm just kind of curious, was pronunciation any helpful? Because I know that okay, Anvesha is AB. Okay, wonderful. I'll take a note of that. So I want you to tell me, were pronunciations any helpful? Because I'm planning on doing that a bit. Okay, good. So I'm going to be keeping that forward. I'm going to keep that going. So pronunciations is something that I'm still going to be doing, I think, pretty much every other day. Good. Perfect. So I'll see you very soon. Okay, take care of yourselves. I'm going to see you on Monday now. And I'm hoping कि Monday वाला exams इनका है उनका अच्छा हो जाए. So all the very, very best for all of those who have their exams, their board exams on Monday. I will see you on Monday. Take care of yourselves. Be good. Hoping to meet you super soon. Yes, I am hoping to meet in person, but other than that, we can still have here on YouTube on Mondays. Good night, everyone. Stay very safe. Take care of yourselves. Stay hydrated. Bye bye. Good night.